all the other crypto channels on YouTube. Ambitious, definitely, but I believe that anything is possible. Now, what separates this channel from the rest, I believe, is that I've got 24 years of investing experience, 8 years of that as a crypto investor. Now, it's been up and down. I've had to learn through trial and error, and it hasn't been easy. I've made far too many mistakes, and because of that, I want to help as many people, as many investors as I possibly can with this channel and my school communities, which I'll get to later on in this live stream. Now, who's this channel actually for? It's for me as an 18-year-old or a 25-year-old. It's for anyone who wasn't taught about money or investing at school or by the parents. It's for anyone who feels stuck in the system. It's for anyone who's struggling with money, living month to month. Because I believe that if you take the time, put the effort in and become financially educated, financially literate, that you can get financial freedom. It's definitely possible. And that's pretty much what I'm about online. I'm documenting my journey towards financial freedom. Now, I set myself an ambitious goal of becoming financially free by within 10 years, and this was back in 2018. So I've got 3 years to hit this ambitious target of mine. Now, if crypto sorts itself out, it's very possible. If it doesn't, I might have to rethink this ambitious goal of mine. So, today, I've written some bullet points. First off, we're going to start with market uncertainty. I'm going to look at the Bitcoin charts and a few other charts. Then we'll move on to crypto fundamentals and why we should be positive. Then we'll look at crypto mindset and how I've coped with the volatility of crypto over the last 8 years. Then crypto exit strategy. This is hugely important, and this has been my main focus on this channel over the last 6 months really. And then we'll finish off with education and how it brings calmness and how you can learn anything fast. Now, before we crack on, I just want to tell you, anyone watching, that this isn't financial advice. As you've probably guessed, I'm definitely not a financial advisor. I'm just trying to help you with my experience as an investor, especially if you're a beginner. So, market uncertainty. And as you'll probably know, it's mainly because of what Trump's doing over in America with his tariffs, and also what's happening in Europe with Ukraine and Russia, and in Europe. The markets don't like uncertainty, as we've seen so far in 2025. So one of the stories I've read today about Trump's trade war. Trump trade war expands globally as 25% tariffs on aluminium and steel take effect. Steel and aluminium take center stage in the president's latest trade spat, but the protectionist agenda is being increasingly called into question by financial market investors and US firms. Donald Trump's trade war has expanded to cover the world, with 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminium imports to the US in effect from today, affecting UK products worth hundreds of millions of pounds. So more bad news, more negative news, more uncertainty. Another story from today: Ukraine agrees to proposal for ceasefire with Russia as US restores aid and intel sharing. Hopefully, with everything crossed, that the conflict can stop between Ukraine and Russia. This isn't to get political. Obviously, this is an investing channel and it's affecting markets. Investing's irrelevant. People are dying, obviously. We all want the war to stop, surely. Another story I read today, which is worrying. I don't know if you've heard about, not everyone I know has any idea about central bank digital currency, CBDCs, but they scare the shit out of me, if I'm being honest. And I read today something very worrying. The ECB pushes for digital euro. Time to invest in the best wallet token. Christine Lagarde, president of the European Central Bank, said that the ECB is aggressively pursuing the idea of a digital euro and expects to finish the testing phase by October 2025. If it goes through, it will be the EU's first central bank digital currency. Basically, more control for governments. Again, this isn't to get political, but if you're not already aware of CBDCs, please look into them. It's important. And if you don't think it's going to happen in the UK, just look what's happening with the Chinese yen. Imagine you drink too much alcohol, you have too many coffees, and the government stop your social credit. It's possible. Moving on, let's have a little look at the chart. Bitcoin chart. It's been very bearish over the last few weeks, shall we say, and we're now trading well below the 50-day moving average. We are still trading above the 200-day moving average, SMA, simple moving average, but only just. So overall, the trend, we're still in the uptrend because we're above that 200-day SMA. Now, we got to, let's go back to the start of January. We were in and around $95,000. Bitcoin was trading at around $95,000. We got up to 109,000 all-time high. And since the 20th of January, we've just been in this downtrend. Far too many red days, far too many red candles. Now, it isn't good, but as you're going to hear by all the other crypto YouTubers, 20% pullbacks, 30% pullbacks are completely normal when you zoom out and look at crypto long term. It's not nice, and most people can't handle the uncertainty, but with experience, it does get much easier, trust me. Now, I want to touch on a little positive. The dollar is actually, the Dixie, the strength of the dollar is actually heading down over the last few days, which is positive for assets. So I'm going to go over some macro indicators to monitor. I'm reading this off one of my newsletters for my school community because I haven't got a mathematical memory. So global M2 money supply, this is something I monitor over the next 12 months. It tracks liquidity and flows and has a 10-week lead over Bitcoin price movements. Now, when you look into it, the price of Bitcoin is correlated to the global M2 money supply. And depending on where you get your information, you're talking about an 83, 84% correlation. So keep an eye on the global M2 money supply. If the M2 is increasing, it's bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. Crypto is following a pattern similar to 2017 under Trump's previous presidency. Dollar strength. Weaker dollar equals bullish for crypto and risk assets. So this has been happening over the last week. So despite what you hear, we've had loads of positive news, and recently we've had negative news with the tariffs, and the markets have been reacting negatively. When you ignore the noise, ignore all the stories, it's really all about the macro, global economics, global liquidity. So keep an eye on the global M2 money supplies, the Dixie, which is the dollar strength against all the other, like the pound and the euro, a basket of other, what's the word I'm fucking looking for? Can't think of the word. Currencies, a basket of currencies. So the Dixie is the strength of the dollar against a basket of other currencies like the euro and the pound. Keep an eye on the ISM business cycle. If the ISM is above 50, it equals economic expansion, and this is bullish for crypto. Now, I'm not an expert on macro. Every time you go on X or YouTube, you're going to find experts on macro. If you want a genuine expert on the macro, on global economics, look into Raoul Pal if you didn't already know about him. He is bit of an expert. He's been in financial markets for 30, 40 years, and he knows his stuff. He knows more about investing than I'll ever know. And he's been a calming influence on my crypto investing over the last few years. So look into Raoul Pal. So we've had a look at market uncertainty. We're going to move on to crypto fundamentals. Reasons to be positive. So I'm going to take you back to January 2024 when the ETFs were approved, the 11 Bitcoin ETFs. Now, the institutions are in Bitcoin. Some people see it as a negative, some people see it as a positive. For me, I see it that Bitcoin's here to stay. It's traditional finance giving Bitcoin and crypto the green light. There's been loads of positives, like President Trump signing the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve just last week. Now, it didn't have a positive effect on the market because that price is that's already probably been priced in. And as I've said, there's still loads of uncertainty. But the fact that America have a global or are going to have a Bitcoin, Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, when it gets passed, it's hugely positive for crypto. You've got a positive crypto-friendly SEC, crypto-friendly president. Countries are trying to buy Bitcoin, huge companies, huge institutions. There's a lot of positive. Just look at the news over the last few weeks and you'll see loads of positives. But the markets haven't been reacting to any of the positive news because of what's going on with the tariffs, with Doge, with all the government cuts over in the US. But I believe that once the macro sorts itself out, once we start getting liquidity into the markets, all the last few weeks of red candles, of negativity, will be a distant memory, and Bitcoin and crypto will fly to the moon. Fingers crossed. So that's me. Enough of me rambling on about the news. As you can see, I'm not a news reporter. Crypto mindset. So I've been in crypto for the last 8 years. I started investing in 2017, going into 2018. Long story short, I invested £6,000 into 3 altcoins. That 6,000 went up to 30,000, and I watched it go down to 6,000 again in the bear market of 2018, and then to almost zero. This led to me shutting my toys out the pram and forgetting about crypto for almost 2 years, which I wouldn't recommend. But this is what happens to many retail investors. They chase quick, easy money in crypto, basically gambling without doing any research, without focusing on education. They lose £5,000, £10,000, whatever they invest, and then they think crypto is a scam and put it to the back of the mind. And then a few years later, the next bull cycle, they'll invest, they'll FOMO in. Please don't let this be you. Now, thankfully, I started focusing on financial education late 2018, going into 2019. And I would say by the start of 2020, I was doing a weekly blog, weekly podcast. They were both rubbish, to be honest, but anyway, that's a different story. The more I was looking into investing and money, the more I was understanding how fucked the current financial system is. And this led me to Bitcoin and crypto. So all the way through 2020, I was getting my head further and further into crypto. And by the start of 2021, I picked out 10 well-researched cryptos. One of them was Solana, which done a 90x. I got in around $3, and the peak of Solana in 2021 was $260. So I'd done well in 2021. Still made mistakes. Still got too emotional. Still checked CoinMarketCap far too much. But I did get a big win with Solana and a few others. I cashed out a huge sum of money in 2021. I made some mistakes, but I still got a big win, or big wins, should I say. Then going into 2022, it was hard for most crypto investors unless you're a really experienced crypto investor, a skilled investor. I would say I was experienced at that time, but I wasn't fully financially literate. I was still too emotional. But by mid 2022, I hit the books. I'd been reading from the start of 2022 when I was sick as fuck. Was reading, watching loads of YouTube videos all the way through to mid 2022, and the penny dropped, and I would say I was fully I was understanding crypto much more. Now, from mid 2022 to now, I've been dollar cost averaging into crypto, and I've finally, through trial and error again, I've learned to detach emotionally. Now, that's one of the reasons why I've set up a school community, because no one's ever taught me about crypto investing. You watch all these YouTube channels, you get really good information, but no one's actually taught me how to invest, how it's important to invest a small amount at first, to dollar cost average, to zoom out and think long term. No matter what you invest into, for me, an easy way to be a successful investor is to zoom out and think long term. So that's one of the main reasons I set up my school community, to help other crypto investors. And I'll be talking about that in greater detail in a little bit. So this is how I've learned to deal with crypto volatility, uncertainty, with whatever's going on with crypto news. Remember me rambling on about crypto news a bit earlier on. Whatever's going on, I'm able to switch off and just think about long term. I believe everything's going online, everything's going to be digital. I have about 10 positions in crypto, and I'm confident in them positions. I've got conviction. I've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. I've got exposure to AI with Tau. That's my main position in AI. And yeah, that's basically how I've got to the point where I'm okay, even with these 30% pullbacks, because it is brutal. Now I'm emotionally detached, but let's just say I'm still not enjoying crypto in 2025. I've pretty much given up on Q1, but I am bullish for the rest of 2025. So mindset is massively important as a crypto investor. If you get too emotional, you're fucked. You're gonna gamble, you're gonna chase quick, easy money. But if you learn how to be neutral and calm with money and investing, you're gonna make logical decisions. You're gonna invest based on your risk tolerance and your goals, based on the content you consume, how you think about things. And hopefully, if you do that, you're financially literate, you're gonna do well in crypto. I believe you will anyway. What's the next thing? So the next thing I'm going to move on to is crypto exit strategy. Pretty much over the last 6 months, I've been obsessed with my exit strategy and trying to help as many people as possible with my little YouTube channel to focus on their exit strategy. Now, there's loads of different strategies you could use. Like, for example, you could use it investing with the house's money. This is a common way to do it. So let's say you invest £1,000 into Bitcoin. A few months later, it doubles to 2,000. You take your initial investment out and you're playing with the house's money. So this is stress-free. A lot of people do this. Now, the way I've approached it over the last few years, I've dollar cost averaged in, which I've mentioned, X amount each month, every single month, and I'm going to dollar cost average out. I'm going to sell incrementally based on the data that I'm looking at, like the SMA, EMA, exponential moving average, RSI, relative strength index, volume, macro data, what I've mentioned, like the strength of the dollar, the M2 money supply, the manufacturing data over in the US, ISM, which I've touched on. So, fear and greed index, Bitcoin dominance, and a few others. I'm going to be checking the data every single day and telling my school community what I'm looking at and how I'm going to be taking profits. So, going into the start of 2025, I thought I'd have already taken profits, but the bull market hasn't gone to plan. Now, when the data I'm looking at, when it gets to certain points, when the actual alt season actually kicks in, I'll maybe take 10% out. Hopefully that's in a few weeks, or I might take 20% out. My hope was to take 40 to 50% out by the end of April. Whether that happens or not, I'm not quite sure. And then take the rest out before October, November time, because I believe the peak for this cycle, from what I've read, from all the videos I've watched, will be somewhere in and around November 2025. So I want to be fully out of the market by October. Now, this is by no means a perfect strategy, but it is a strategy. You are going to invest differently to me, and you're going to take profits different to me because you're an individual. Don't just take what I say or other YouTubers, especially the more popular ones. Don't just invest in what they do blindly. Watch as many videos as you can, read the books, read articles, and invest based on your risk tolerance and your goals. It's got to be specific to you. Now, obviously, I'm going to dollar cost average out incrementally over the next 6 months. But in that time, if I hit my goals, I'll exit the market completely, because that's what it's all about for me. In crypto in 2025, it's about taking profits and helping my family's financial future. That's what it's all about. So please focus on your exit strategy. Now, the last thing I want to cover is education. I've touched on it a few times. I always go on about it on this channel. Education. Now, whenever my head's been up my ass over the last 5-6 years about stocks, about my index funds, about crypto, when I've hit the books and focused on education, it's really calmed me down. Now, you can hit the books, you can read hundreds of books like I've done since 2019, you can watch hundreds, if not thousands of YouTube videos, or if you want to learn about crypto faster, you can join my school community. I'm going to read the about page. So you're getting 3 courses currently. You get the chance for a one-to-one strategy call with me, and you get around other like-minded investors. So this is the about page for my crypto community on school. Learn everything you need to know about crypto investing to speed up financial freedom. Like the fact that the main course is 3 hours long. So you watch that 3-hour course on 2x speed. So it's going to take you an hour and a half. Take some notes. It'll probably take you 3 or 4 hours. And you're getting 8 years of experience in just a few hours. So it's going to save you, should I say, serious time. Get the proven step-by-step system I've used to build a 6-figure portfolio in crypto. It's no risk. You get a 7-day free trial. The price is increasing soon, so I'm trying to get a bit of scarcity in there. Crypto investing made simple, value $250. Complete investing, value $250. Crypto cash out, value $250. Weekly newsletter, value $250. Now, speaking to the existing members of this little crypto community, this is where they're getting the most value, the weekly newsletter. If you believe anything is possible and dream of retiring early or even financial freedom, this group is for you. With crypto, you have an amazing opportunity to do just that if you learn to invest now. You get an easy to follow videos, step-by-step strategy to maximize profits, how to avoid common investing mistakes, which I've touched on, saving you serious money, case studies to demonstrate how to invest in any market conditions, that weekly newsletter focusing on market indicators, crypto news and updates, and how to take profits. Total value, $1,000, now just $19 a month. So that's about £15 a month. And as I said, you get a 7-day free trial. So what I'm doing by going live, and I'm going to be doing it more often because I need to sharpen the sword, as they say, because I'm shit when I go live. All of my videos on YouTube, I use a teleprompter. Now what I'm doing by going live, I'm trying to get as many people into my YouTube community as possible. And if they resonate with what I'm saying, they can join my school community. I didn't mention that before, but I've got 2 school communities. I've got a free school community that teaches you everything you need to know to start investing in the stock market with low-cost index funds. Again, you get access to investing courses and you get around other like-minded investors. But if you're happy to pay a small fee, £15 a month, you can join my crypto investing community. I might have waffled a bit here, but I've genuinely got really good experience, 8 years of crypto experience, 24 years of investing experience with stocks, property investing, index funds, and most recently crypto. So if you're not interested in the school, just watch the YouTube channels. Let me know what you think in the comments. Get inside the comments and tell me if you like what I'm saying or not. I don't mind. I've got thick skin. I'm a big boy. I can take it. What I want though, I want as many people to watch my YouTube videos, get in the comments, start conversations. Because if you just investing by yourself, I know from experience it's lonely. So get in the comments and I'll help you any way I can. And again, if you want to join my school community, the link you can be found in the description on my YouTube channel on the main page. So anyway, that just about wraps up today. J. Smith, good news of the CPI today, but why is market not pumping from that news? You think? Basically, I'm not sure of your name. Is it? Let me know your name. Is it John J? I know you've been commenting on the channel quite a bit. Good news of the CPI today. Crypto will pump because of what's coming. I do believe that with the dollar weakening, that gives the green light to China to start printing money to introduce liquidity because they need it. All the central banks are going to print money to pay the debts. It's going to happen at some point between now and the end of the year. When that happens, I'm not really sure. I'm looking at it every day and I'll be updating people on my YouTube channel and in my school community. But what I would say regarding the CPI data, there's still uncertainty because of the tariffs and other things, what's going on in Europe. Basically, any good news that's been reported over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, the market hasn't responded positively at all. But anyway, that's about it for now. I'll be going live again in a few days. Good luck with your crypto investing. If you don't stay on the channel, if you don't join the school community, I really hope you do well in crypto.